Hello, listeners! Welcome to our channel, Learn English with Podcast. Have you ever had that feeling when your energy is low, your head is pounding, and you just can't focus? Maybe you've been working nonstop or running errands all day, and suddenly you feel completely drained. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes the solution is as simple as a glass of water. That's right, hydration. It's easy to forget about, but drinking enough water can do wonders for your body and mind. Today, we're diving into the powerful benefits of staying hydrated and how it can completely transform your day-to-day life. So grab a bottle and let's get into it. And at last, I'll tell you my story how drinking water increased my efficiency. But before we dive into today's topic, let's quickly introduce today's guests, Alan and Alice. They are here to help us know about the benefits of drinking water. Let's get started.
Ready to dive into something we all need, but might not think that much about.
Always up for a deep dive, especially one that's so essential.
Today, it's all about water. But we're going way beyond those basic drink 8 glasses tips.
Right, because it's much more fascinating than that, isn't it? It's about how hydration really impacts every single part of us.
It's wild how something so simple can have such a huge effect on our health, our energy, even our mood.
Absolutely. And sometimes we don't even realize how important water is until our bodies start waving those red flags, those little signals saying, uh-oh, running low here.
Like we're ignoring those warnings, those subtle signs that we need to refuel.
Exactly. And they can be sneaky, those signs. Think about that afternoon slump, a headache that just won't quit, or maybe you're snapping at everyone.
Oh, I know that feeling. Sometimes I'm in a total brain fog and then realize, wait, I haven't had any water all day.
Happens to the best of us. But the thing is, if we keep ignoring those signals, it can be more than just a quick energy dip. It can lead to bigger problems down the road.
Meaning, if we're constantly not getting enough water, that can turn into some serious issues, right?
Exactly. Chronic dehydration can up the risk of some nasty stuff. Kidney stones, UTIs, even digestive problems. None of those sound fun.
Definitely a wake-up call. So dry mouth, fatigue, headaches, those are the red flags to watch for. But what about the good stuff? Let's talk about the amazing things that happen when we are properly hydrated.
Absolutely. It's like unlocking this whole other level of well-being. Increased energy, that healthy glow everyone wants, smoother digestion, even healthier joints.
And don't forget about our brains. Water is a brain booster too, isn't it?
Big time. Studies show that proper hydration can sharpen your focus, make it easier to remember things, and even help with stress and anxiety.
So it's like a mental spa treatment. Just from drinking enough water, I'm sold. But how much is enough? What about that old 8 glasses a day rule? Is that a myth or a mandate?
It's a question everyone asks, but honestly, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. How much you need changes based on your age, how active you are, even the climate you live in.
So listening to your body is key. No need to force down liters of water if we're not feeling thirsty.
Exactly. And while water is amazing, it's not magic. There's this idea out there that if you just chug water all day, your skin will be perfect or you'll instantly lose weight.
Oh, I've fallen for those internet claims before, for sure.
It's important to remember that water is part of a bigger picture. Healthy diet, exercise, good skincare, it all works together.
So another myth to debunk. Can you actually drink too much water? Because I know I have days where I'm glued to my water bottle, but maybe that's not the best thing.
You're smart to question that. Overhydration is real. It can mess up your body's balance of electrolytes, especially sodium levels getting too low. That's called hyponatremia.
And that's something we don't want to mess with, right?
Definitely not. We're talking serious problems, headaches, nausea, even confusion. In extreme cases, it can even lead to seizures. Your kidneys can only handle so much fluid at once.
So it's about finding that sweet spot. What are some signs that we might be overdoing it?
Well, besides those symptoms we talked about, if you're constantly bloated or running to the bathroom every few minutes, that's a pretty good clue to slow down. And here's a surprise. Constantly clear urine isn't always a sign you're perfectly hydrated.
Seriously. I thought clear pee was the goal.
A pale yellow color is actually what you want to see. It means your body is processing fluids at a good pace.
Mind blown. So how do we get that balance right? What are some practical tips for staying hydrated without going overboard?
The most basic advice is sometimes the easiest to forget. Listen to your thirst. It's your body's way of telling you what it needs.
That makes sense. But sometimes we're so busy we forget to even think about drinking. Any strategies for those of us who need a little extra nudge?
Building good habits can be super helpful. Start your day with a big glass of water. Carry a reusable bottle with you everywhere. And if you get bored with plain water, which, let's be honest, happens,
It happens to all of us.
get creative, add slices of fruit, cucumber, maybe some fresh mint. There are tons of delicious combos to try.
You're making me thirsty just talking about it.
Yeah. And remember, you can hydrate through food too. Watermelon, cucumbers, even spinach, those all count towards your daily intake.
So snacking our way to hydration, I like the sound of that.
Exactly. And if you need a little extra help, there are tons of apps that track your water intake and send you reminders. It's like having a personal hydration coach in your pocket.
That's pretty cool. Technology to the rescue.
Yeah.
But doesn't how active we are change how much water we need to?
Absolutely. If you're having a busy day, especially if it's hot out, you'll need to drink more to replace what you're losing through sweat.
So more sweating, more water.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Exactly. And in those cases, you might want to think about electrolytes too. Coconut water or a sports drink, in moderation, of course, can be helpful.
Okay, so we've got our hydration plan in place. But what if we accidentally overdo it? Any damage control tips?
The first step is recognizing the signs. We mentioned headaches, nausea, confusion. If those happen, stop drinking water and get medical advice if they get worse.
Got it. Prevention is key. But good to know what to do if things go wrong.
Absolutely. And here's a proactive tip. Don't chug huge amounts of water all at once. Spread it out throughout the day so your kidneys can keep up.
Small sips, steady wins the race, right?
Exactly. And at the end of the day, it's not about obsessing over every ounce or constantly checking your pee color. It's about building healthy habits that work for you and learning to listen to what your body needs.
It's about finding that balance where we're taking care of ourselves without going overboard.
Exactly. Even something as basic as water can teach us about mindfulness and being in tune with our bodies.
I love that. So if our listeners only remember one thing from today, what should it be?
Hydration is all about balance. Finding that sweet spot where you're giving your body what it needs without overwhelming it. It's about listening to your own unique needs and making choices that support your overall well-being.
And that's a great place to pause for now. Welcome back to our hydration deep dive. We covered a lot of ground in part one, the benefits, the myths, why finding that balance is so important.
Right, laying the foundation.
Exactly. But now we're zooming in on an area where hydration is absolutely essential. Athletic performance.
This is where it gets really practical, especially for those of us who love to stay active.
I'm always looking for ways to improve my workouts, get that extra edge. Does water really make that much of a difference?
It's not just a difference, it's night and day. Think about water as the high-performance fuel that keeps your body's engine going strong.
Okay, I like that analogy.
When you're sweating, you're not just losing water, you're also losing those key electrolytes, like sodium and potassium. Those are crucial for your muscles to work right, for nerve signals, for keeping everything balanced.
So it's not just about being thirsty. It's about making sure our bodies can actually function at their best while we're pushing ourselves.
Exactly. And if you don't stay hydrated during exercise well, the consequences can be pretty rough. We're talking decreased stamina, muscle cramps that can totally sideline you, getting tired way faster, even an increased risk of heat exhaustion or heat stroke if it's really extreme.
Ouch, none of those sound fun. I've definitely hit that wall during a run where my legs feel like lead and I have zero energy left. I'm guessing dehydration played a role there?
Most likely. Even mild dehydration can throw off your workout. Studies show it can actually lower your VO2 max, which is how efficiently your body uses oxygen, your aerobic capacity.
So when you're dehydrated, you're basically limiting how well your body can perform. Makes those workouts feel way harder.
Exactly. And that's why staying properly hydrated can help you unlock your body's full potential.
I like the sound of that. So by staying hydrated, we're not just preventing the bad stuff, we're actually helping our bodies perform at their best.
Exactly. Adequate hydration helps your body regulate its temperature more effectively. It helps deliver oxygen to your muscles more efficiently. It even lubricates your joints. All of that can help prevent injuries.
Okay, sold. Hydration is key for any athlete, weekend warrior, or marathon runner. But how much should we actually be drinking? Is it different from our normal daily intake?
Great question. The general recommendation is to drink about 17 to 20 ounces of water 2 to 3 hours before you exercise.
So we're prepping beforehand.
Right, getting ahead of the game. Then have another 8 ounces about 20 to 30 minutes before you start. And during exercise, aim for 7 to 10 ounces every 10 to 20 minutes.
So consistent hydration throughout the workout. But those are just general guidelines, right?
Of course, it always depends on the individual. Things like how intense your workout is, how long it is, the weather, how much you sweat, those all play a role.
Got it. Listen to your body.
Oh, yeah.
What about those electrolytes we talked about earlier? Do we need to replenish those specifically during exercise, or is water enough?
For most workouts under an hour, water will do the trick. But if you're pushing it longer and harder, especially in hot weather, those electrolytes become super important.
So for those longer, more intense workouts, we need to step it up.
Exactly. And there are a few options. Sports drinks can be helpful, but a lot of them are loaded with sugar.
The classic sugar trap.
Right. So look for low sugar or sugar-free options. Coconut water is also a great natural source of electrolytes.
So getting hydrated with a tropical twist. I like.
And don't forget about after your workout. Keep drinking water or an electrolyte drink to help your body recover properly.
So it's a complete hydration strategy. Before, during, and after exercise.
Exactly.
But how do we know if we're getting enough? Are there signs we should be looking out for?
While thirst can be a good indicator, it's not always reliable, especially when you're really focused on your workout. One simple way to check is to monitor your urine color.
Back to the Pew chart.
You got it. Pale yellow is what you're aiming for. If it's darker than that, you need to drink more. And if you're feeling dizzy, lightheaded, or having muscle cramps, those are definite signs to stop, hydrate, and listen to your body.
It's all about paying attention to those cues.
Exactly. And remember, consistency is key. Don't just focus on hydration on workout days. Make it a part of your everyday routine.
So it's not about chugging a gallon of water right before hitting the gym. It's about making hydration a lifestyle.
Exactly. A habit, like brushing your teeth.
But what about those of us who just really don't like plain water?
That's where creativity comes in. Remember we talked about infusing water with fruits and veggies? Experiment, find what you like. There are flavored electrolyte powders too. Or even switch things up with sparkling water if you need a little fizz.
Ooh, sparkling water. I love that.
Right.
It's my go-to instead of soda when I need something more exciting. But what about sports drinks? Are they ever a good option? Or are they all just sugar bombs?
That's a great question, and it depends.
The classic answer.
But really, it depends on the person and the situation. If you're having a super intense workout for over an hour, especially in hot conditions, a sports drink can help replace those lost electrolytes and give you a quick energy boost.
So they do have their place.
They do. Just choose wisely. Look for options lower in sugar and with a good balance of electrolytes. And remember, they're meant to supplement your water intake, not replace it completely.
Got it. It's about finding that balance, listening to our bodies, making choices that support our fitness goals.
Exactly.
But here's a question I've always wondered. Does caffeine dehydrate us? I need my morning coffee, but I know I need to stay hydrated, especially if I'm working out.
That's a myth we need to bust right now. While it's true, caffeine can make you pee a bit more, moderate coffee consumption isn't going to dehydrate you significantly.
Phew, that's good news. So my morning coffee is safe.
As long as you're drinking enough water throughout the day, you're good to go. Some studies even suggest that caffeine might actually enhance athletic performance.
Wait, really? My coffee could be giving me a workout boost.
It's true. Caffeine can increase alertness and focus, and it might even make those tough workouts feel a bit easier.
Okay, now I'm really a fan. But caffeine aside, are there other drinks we should be avoiding when it comes to hydration?
Definitely. Sugary drinks like soda and juice are not your friends when it comes to hydration. They're loaded with empty calories and can actually dehydrate you because of all that sugar.
So water is the real winner. But how do we make it more appealing, especially for those of us who struggle to drink enough?
That's where we can have some fun. Think beyond the basic water bottle. Infuse your water with fruits, veggies, herbs. Frozen berries add a nice burst of flavor, and keep your water cold. Cucumber and mint is a classic combo.
Okay, I'm already getting more ideas.
And little rituals can help. Set up a hydration station in your fridge with pitchers of infused water, sliced fruit, maybe even some fun ice cube trays.
Ooh, fancy ice cubes. I'm in.
It's about making hydration an experience, something you look forward to, not a chore.
I love that. Making it enjoyable, a part of our self-care routine. So we've covered a lot here. Any final thoughts on hydration and athletic performance?
If there's one thing I want our listeners to remember, it's that hydration isn't something you tack on at the end. It's a fundamental part of athletic performance, just as important as your training and nutrition.
It's about setting ourselves up for success, giving our bodies what they need to perform at their best.
Exactly. And remember, hydration isn't just for athletes. It's about overall health and well-being, no matter what your fitness level is.
Absolutely. So we've talked about why hydration is so important, the benefits, the risks, and how to optimize our intake for athletic performance. But there's another piece to this puzzle we haven't explored yet.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
the connection between water and our mental and emotional well-being.
It's a powerful link that we often overlook.
Stay tuned as we dive into that fascinating topic in part 3 of our hydration deep dive. All right, welcome back for the final part of our hydration deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground, haven't we?
We have the benefits, the myths, how crucial it is for fitness. But there's one more fascinating connection we need to explore.
The mind-body connection. How hydration impacts our mental and emotional well-being.
It's something people don't always think about.
We usually think about water as fuel for our bodies, keeping things running smoothly. But it's also vital for a healthy mind and balanced emotions.
Exactly. And it makes sense when you think about it, right? Our brains are almost 80% water.
80%!
Wow. So even being a little dehydrated can really affect how well our brains work. Things like focus, memory, even decision-making.
No wonder I feel foggy when I haven't had enough water.
Exactly. And it's not just a feeling. The research shows it's real. Studies have found dehydration can slow down our reaction times, make us less alert, make it harder to concentrate.
It's like trying to think clearly when you're running on empty.
That's a great way to put it.
So if we're feeling sluggish, irritable, or just can't think straight, dehydration could be part of the problem.
And it's definitely something to consider. And it goes beyond just thinking. It can affect our mood and emotions, too.
Okay, this is where I get really interested. Tell me more about that connection.
Well, when we're dehydrated, our bodies react kind of like we're stressed. We produce more of the stress hormone cortisol.
And too much cortisol isn't good news.
Right. It can make us feel anxious, tense, even bring down our mood.
So a simple glass of water could help us feel calmer and happier.
It's a tool we often forget about. Studies show that even mild dehydration can increase fatigue, tension, confusion. But staying hydrated can brighten our mood, make us more alert, and just give us that overall feeling of well-being.
It's amazing how connected our physical and mental states really are. How does this play out in everyday life, though? Can you give me some examples?
Sure. Think about students taking a big exam. Staying hydrated can help them focus, remember information, and perform their best. Or someone working under a tight deadline. Taking a minute to drink some water might help them stay calm, think clearly under pressure, and avoid feeling overwhelmed.
It's about giving ourselves the resources to handle those mental and emotional challenges.
Exactly, and it's not just about managing stress. Hydration can even help boost feelings of happiness and contentment.
Now that's something I want to hear more about. How does that work?
Well, when we're properly hydrated, our bodies are functioning smoothly, right? Our cells are getting what they need, our brains are working well, and our hormones are balanced. All of that contributes to that feeling of overall well-being, both physically and mentally.
So it's like a ripple effect. Hydration sets off a chain reaction of good things that lead to a healthier, happier us. But is there a certain amount of water we need to drink to get these mental and emotional benefits?
It goes back to that idea of individuality. There's no magic number that works for everyone. The best advice is to listen to your body. If you're feeling thirsty, drink up. And remember, things like diet, exercise, and sleep also play a huge role in our mental and emotional health.
It's about taking care of ourselves in every way. But let's be honest, sometimes life gets crazy. We forget to drink, and suddenly we're feeling drained and grumpy. Any tips for getting back on track when that happens?
Absolutely. The first step is just recognizing those feelings. Realize you might be dehydrated and make a conscious effort to drink more. Keep a water bottle with you. Set reminders, whatever works. And remember, hydration comes from more than just water. Fruits, veggies, even soup can contribute.
It's about being mindful, making hydration a priority.
Exactly. And if you're finding it tough to make it a habit, try getting creative. Infuse your water with fruits, herbs, turn it into a game, whatever keeps it fun and interesting.
Those are great tips. I think sometimes we overcomplicate things. It's really about finding those simple strategies that work for us, making them a part of our lives.
I agree completely. And even small changes can make a difference. Adding just one extra glass of water a day can really have an impact.
So to wrap it all up, we've learned that hydration is so much more than just quenching our thirst. It's about fueling our bodies, keeping our minds sharp, even boosting our mood.
It's about taking care of ourselves from the inside out.
Making choices that support our overall well-being, physically and mentally.
And it's a journey, not a destination. It's about finding what works for you and making it a natural part of your life.
Well said. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into hydration. We hope you've learned something new and feel inspired to make hydration a priority in your life.
Absolutely. Stay curious, keep exploring, and most importantly, stay hydrated.
As I promised earlier to tell you about my story, that how I become more efficient at my work. So here's my story. A few months ago, I was dealing with constant headaches and feeling mentally foggy at work. I couldn't focus for long and just felt drained. After some thought, I realized I wasn't drinking enough water. I started carrying a water bottle and set hourly reminders to drink. Within days, my headaches disappeared, and I felt more focused and energized. Hydration made a huge difference in my productivity. Sometimes it's the simplest changes, like drinking enough water, that can transform your day. So if you're struggling with focus, try staying hydrated. It really works. Thank you for watching. Meet you in the next podcast.